Everybody, welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more on my coffee themed junk journal. It's called Coffee and Cocoa. So y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. We are currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay. Hey Nancy. Let me get you guys pulled up so I can see chat. Hey Deborah. All right, so sorry the camera is still flipped. It's still got that Facebook glitch. Hopefully they'll fix it. It'll be fixed when I pull the camera up top, so it won't matter then. But for the time being, it's backwards. But anyway, so we're going to be working in this. I've got a few things planned. Probably won't get everything done, but I'm going to try to get as much done as I can. So let me go ahead and get this camera pulled up top so we can get started. I assume volume's okay because nobody said anything. Let me just make sure it looks like it's all the way up. All right, I think so. All right, 1 second. Get you guys turn the right direction. Whoop, it's way blurry. Come on. There you go. All right, that looks good. Hey Dawn, thanks for letting me know the volume's good. All right, so I have a lot planned today. I have too much planned today. That's the catch. It's like when I don't have enough days between my live, I can't get enough stuff to, prepared ahead of time. And when I have too many days between my live, I get way too much and then I don't know what to do. Then I'm just like, okay, I have like 20 projects that I want to do and I can fit in, maybe 3. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I have a whole bunch, which is good. Hey, Lori. All right, so let's see. Did I mark anything? I don't think I did. No. Okay. What do I want to talk about first? I'm going to talk about these vellum envelopes first. So I went on Amazon. I was looking for, I went on looking for glycine bags, but glycine bags. And what I ended up finding was some vellum envelopes. And they are very nice, good quality. So I got, I think, 50 of them? I don't know how many I got. Let's see, does it say? It does, but it's so tiny I can't see. It was either 25 or 50. I feel like it was 50, but it doesn't look like 50, so maybe not. But anyway, they are, let's see, how big are they? Oops, wrong side. About 5 by 7. They're not quite 5 by 7, but they're real close. So a good size for a journal. So I grabbed some of these. The nice thing about this particular one, which I did throw it on my favorites list in Amazon. I have like an Amazon, my favorite art supplies. It's not affiliated or anything. I'm not an affiliate, but it's just there for y'all. So these are on there. There weren't a lot left when I bought them, so I don't know how many are on there right now, but hopefully they restock. But I've used a couple of them to try them out. And the nice thing is that you can print on them. So I threw it in my inkjet printer on a piece of paper. I don't know if you could just throw the envelope in there by itself. There's probably a way, but I don't know how on my printer, so I didn't even try that. What I did is I took just a cardstock. And first I did a few tests on my layout on my sketch. I use Sketch Club, but you could use like Photoshop or something. But I have like a layout program where I lay out all my things that I'm going to print. And so I figured out where it was going to print on the cardstock. And then I had to figure out where to place the envelope so that it would print correctly in the right direction and all that stuff. So once I figured that out, then I just taped it with some of this really low tack tape to this piece of cardstock. And I just put it just barely on the edge of it, just a printer, like that. And it worked fine. I didn't catch up or anything, and it worked fine. So they are nice because they're printable. It feels like that heavyweight vellum I have that I use a lot, so it's a decent weight. But I thought I might use some of these. So I went ahead and printed a few out with my digitals that I have currently. So I have this one that says Lion Coffee. And then this one. This one was a little bit off, so I was still playing with figuring out. This is the first one I did, so I had to kind of figure out placement, but it's okay. I'm going to leave it. And then I got a little bit better on that one. The tricky part is figuring out which way it prints. So it'll be on the side that you want it on with the flap, if you're going to use the flap to tape it down or whatever, stick it in your journal. So that was a little tricky, but I kind of think I figured it out. And then I made a design myself on my photo program, and I made an envelope with that design. It's floating around here somewhere. I think I stuck it in the book already. Hold on. I think I stuck it in my journal. Where did I stick it? Who knows? I think it's in here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I don't see it sitting next to me, although it could be, and I just don't see it. There it is. Okay, so I did. So I stuck it in here, and what I'm going to do is make a little, I'm just going to put it under this belly band. But, so this is the design that I made, and I just, like I said, I just threw it in Photoshop and threw some text on here, and then I flipped the text so that it makes like a border with all of these just coffee themed words, and I have them all facing inward. So I'm going to put this digital up on as a freebie. I'll do that after my live sometime tonight, but so y'all can have that. It's real simple, but you know, so that will work on these envelopes. So I printed one out. I forgot to take off my line, but I just left it. I have like a line that I use on my photo program to tell me where to put stuff, and I usually, you know, make that layer invisible, and I forgot to do that, so that's why there's a line around it. The one you get will not have that line around it, but I just left it on here because I didn't feel like printing another one. So we have these, and you can just fill them with stuff, you know. They're cute. They can be used inside as a flip on a page, so you could use them like, you could put the band over, not on this page, but put the band over and glue it and have it as a flip in a pocket. Or you can just glue it, attach it to the inside of the page like that and have it as a flip. Or you can just stick it in a pocket or, you know, tuck it somewhere. So in this case, I'm just going to stick this one here, and I'll try to find some things to throw in there. But so I thought that was cute and fun to do. So we'll do that first. I'll just throw this together. It won't take that long. So a relatively quick little project. And like I said, if you look on my favorites list, you can find the envelopes if you want to go buy some. There's many out there. This just happens to be the one I got. But there were many options and many different sizes if you wanted a little smaller one or something. But anyway, I didn't think I'd be able to print it, but it printed fine. And it's, you know, unless it gets wet, it's on there. It's not coming off. It's not rubbing off. And that's with an inkjet. So that's good. So this is just one of the digitals from that Scraps of Serotonin Coffee Ephemera Pack digital I have. And I'm just going to turn it into a belly band because I think it's cute. And I'm going to put it on this page because it's cardstock and I like the weight of it. So we're going to throw that here. I'm just going to ink it if I can find my ink. Alright, so let's ink this up. And now I just got to figure out what I'm going to stick in there. You can put anything in there. It could be a letter. It could be some extra ephemera that you want to use. You know, whatever you want to throw in there. Anything flat. I wouldn't put anything too bulky in there. See whatever you put in there. So if you wanted to put a picture or whatever. So let's attach this down on this page. See what that paper clip's going to. Does not appear to be going to anything, so we're going to pull that off. I'm going to glue this with some art glitter. So I'm just gluing top and bottom, typical belly band style. Make sure I can see this line so I can get it somewhat straight. All right. So Dawn says, I know I have a bunch of glassine bags I ordered a while ago. If I remember, I will put some in your goodie box I started. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have the one that you sent in an order or something. That you sent me something, and I had one in there, which I did save. I still haven't used it, but I did save it to use it at some point. But yeah, I still haven't bought any. So that's cool. Thank you. Let's see, what can we put in here that would look cute? Because you can see through it. We might as well put something interesting. I do have a few more of these coffee cups. I don't know if I want to use that or not. Could put a few of those in there maybe. No, I think I want something bigger. I'll save those for an embellishment. Let's see, what do I got? I have some larger ephemera floating around here. There's some in here. What's in here? Got this little cafe. Is that too big? That looks too big. Nope, that'll fit. All right, so we have this little cafe de Paris. I'll just throw that in there. This one I was going to turn into a postcard, which I got to do the back of it. I'll try to do that. For right now, I think I'll just throw that in there. Fits with the cafe theme. I didn't do anything to it really. We'll ink it a little, but it could just be a writing space or whatever. See this side. Since I'm leaving the back kind of blank, I'll put a little more ink on it. Boy, this snow is out of hand, isn't it? I was looking at Amanda's feed on Metal Modern Design. Boy, she got a ton of snow, and I grew up in Florida, so I know how rare it is there. Granted, I was in like the middle in Ocala, and Daytona, but still, we only got snow once or twice when I was growing up, and it was usually, like an inch, not enough to really do anything, and it was melted usually before the day was over. So what they got was crazy. And granted, we got a little more too, which, isn't as rare for the Atlanta, Georgia area, but the snow this year has just been kind of nuts. I can get this in here. It's new, so it's kind of stiff. When they're new, these vellum bags, they are a little bit stiff, so you got to kind of open them up a little bit and get them easier to work with. So we're going to throw this in there. Let's see, which way? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. That's why when I printed this digital, I put it so that the words could be any direction. So if you wanted to put it in like this, it still works, or like this, it still works. Doesn't really matter which direction. So that's cute. So it shows through. And we're going to throw it under there. So that's a cute little easy project to do with an envelope, like a vellum envelope. And you can make your own vellum envelopes. It's not that hard, but it's easier when they're made. And they weren't horribly expensive. Gosh, I don't even think I have the printout to tell you how much they were, but it wasn't a lot. Less than $10. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't a lot. All right, so one project down. Hey, Bonnie. So next, so I ran by Starbucks the other day, and I figured I'd grab a couple of these little coffee things. I opened it up. I was debating on trying to make it smaller. It's a little bit big. I think I'm going to leave it. I have another one somewhere, but we'll just use this one. And then I wanted to make a cup to go in it. Well, logically it works, but it doesn't work. Because the cup, when it's 2D, the direction of the fold, the edge is backwards. It would need to be this way to be correct on this, and there's no way to make this that way, because that's the way they're made. But I'm just going to use it anyway. It's a little big, but I think it's still, it's a repurposing kind of thing, and I thought it was cute. This is from the same digital as the Scraps of Serotonin one. So, and I blew it up really big, so that's why it's kind of blurry, because it was tiny. But we're going to use that on a page somewhere, even though it's kind of sort of doesn't make logical sense, but oh well. It is what it is, right? That's going to be a pocket. Just debating on where I want to stick it. Oh, this is a project we're going to do today. I don't really want that on there yet. I was going to show you how to do that too. That goes with that. Okay. This is my least filled book, so I kind of wanted to use a journal page. Signature. Gotta get the right word out today. Maybe here. I just want it on a plain, kind of a plainer page, something I haven't really played with too much. I think this is a good choice. So, I'm just going to debate what I want to put under it, if anything. Maybe I'll just throw it here. I'll save this one for something else. So, just a simple, coffee koozie kind of thing. I'm just debating if I want to leave the whole thing, but it's bulky, it is corrugated. It is a little bit thick, so I think I'm just going to cut it and use just this section, because I don't really need the whole thing. So I think I'll do that. You could just throw down the whole thing, but we're just going to use a little bit of it. And I'm just going to glue it down as a little koozie. And this will just be a journaling spot. But, kind of cute. So let's glue that, I think about there. It's kind of thick. Let me think. I'll go with the art glitter, but I'm going to use the larger nozzle one. If it's not plugged up. I don't use it very often, so it's usually plugged up. Yeah, okay. Almost always. Where's my pen? Oh, there it is. Use the same pen to unplug it. I don't always want this little nozzle, because sometimes it just takes too much to put down a decent amount of glue. And because this is very bumpy, I'm going to put down a little more glue than I would normally. All right, so I think about there is good. course, my glue is going to ooze because channels and everything. That's okay. I got a little glue wipey thing. I'll just wipe off the extra. All right, make sure it's not too sticky. Oh, totally rubbed my digital too much. Don't do that. Don't rub your digital so much it messes it up. All right, so let's put this up. And we're going to ink this. Kind of a horrible fussy cutting job there. And it's not that bad, but it's a little bit pointy right here. I'm just going to fix that edge. A little bit better. There we go. We'll just ink it just because it'll also make it look a little bit more rounded by inking it. Lots of little journaling spots in this journal, which is good. I always try to keep a decent amount. All right, there we go. Simple, easy project. Make sure it's not sticky. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So next, let's go ahead and just do this next. So I saw this. I'll have to get out my cheat sheet to tell you where I saw it. So I started a idea book, which I haven't showed y'all yet because I've been working on it. So this is going to be my little idea book where I put ideas. I was using that big old folder thing, which I'll probably still keep, but I saw, well, I've seen them a couple places, but the main one I see all the time is the one on Hither and Yon. She has what she calls her big book of junk journal ideas, I believe. And she's like 4, maybe 5 videos on them. But to this point, I've been using this, which is just your typical folder, binder, I guess you call them, with a bunch of stuff in it in just plastic sleeves. And I keep them all in here, and you know, I leave the instructions and all that for ideas that I've used in my journal, which works okay, but it's bulky and it's messy and it's not ideal. I do like that it gives me a place to put pictures and things, which is kind of nice, but I wanted something just a little nicer looking, so I'm going to make, so basically I'll have 2, but that one's getting really full. So I've moved some things over to this. So this is just a 4 signature hardcover. This is from a cereal box. I covered it with some Tim Holtz fabric. Like I said, it was a cereal box that I just cut the cardboard out to size, covered it with fabric, and then put a cardstock here and on the back. And then the pages are removable, so they are elastic, your typical elastic stuff, so that each signature, if you need to when you're working on it, because I will be throwing stuff in here with instructions as I go along, like grab a signature that I can actually work with, so they can be, you know, pulled out and you can work on them. I'm not going to pull it out because I don't feel like doing it right now, but put them in there with eyelets, and that was honestly the most challenging part of this whole project, was getting those eyelets perfectly straight across there and in the same spot. That was a challenge. I ended up marking it on a piece of tape and then putting the tape down where I wanted it, and then taking the tape off the top and putting it on the bottom. That way they were both identical. It was just the easiest way to do it, because you know, when you put the holes, even if you have a dot in the same spot, it's very difficult to get that dot in the center of the eyelet hole. So that was the easiest way to do it. But maybe I'll show y'all sometime at some point. But this wasn't really going to be a project I was going to do with y'all, but I have kind of started filling out with things, a fold out thing, and then I have like the instructions that I printed out next to it, and then some things just have like a picture. Right now this just has a picture of Kathy's garden where I saw it, and later I'll write the instructions and put in there. I just haven't done it yet. And like the little thing, I'm probably going to glue this in, but right now the instructions are on the back, so I haven't glued it. So this will end up having all of my ideas. So this idea for today, I saw this on Hither and Yon. It's in one of hers, and I thought it was just very brilliant. But it's just a simple page tuck. It's like a little tuck, and you just make it, and then you can put it on your page, and it can be moved around, and you can use it as a pocket, that sort of thing. So we're going to make one of these. I did one already, but I did the one for my sample. So we're going to play with that today. I just wanted to grab that so I can see who did it, because I couldn't remember. So that was a Hither and Yon thing, which I've been watching her a lot lately. So first thing you need to do is get your paper and your size figured out. And it's just as simple as measuring your page and figuring out, you know, how big it needs to be. Let me find where I'm going to stick this. I had a spot and now I've lost it. Where was I going to stick this? Maybe there? Maybe. I think it was here. I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. It can be put anywhere. So it's going to go on a page. So figure out how big you want it. So I wanted mine to hang off of the top a little more than hanging off the bottom, because if it hangs off the bottom too much, it might interfere with it sitting up on a shelf. So I only wanted it to hang off as much room as I had with my cover. And in my case, for this particular cover, I've got a decent amount of room. You can see it. It's well inside there. So as long as I didn't go more than, say, 1/4 of an inch on the bottom, it's not going to affect it sitting on the shelf. So just kind of look at those measurements. All journals are all different sizes, so I'm not going to give you exact measurements. I can, but it'll change depending on what you're doing. So measure that, and then you want the page that you're using to be like double. So I printed one out. I'm going to use one with the, I think it was Coffee Beans dictionary one. Let me find it. All right. So you want to print it out so that the design that you want on the front and back is in the middle of your page. Okay? Because the way I folded it, I wanted this edge to be folded so that it added support. So I left it. I didn't want to just fill a whole page with it. So I left it to where I can keep this on here. So when I cut it out, I'm just going to cut it out to where it fits the size. On the top and bottom, it'll be exact. But on the sides, I'm going to leave all this, because that's going to add support, basically. It's going to make it a little bit heavier. Now, if you were using cardstock or something, you could do that and you wouldn't need to, but I'm just using regular copy paper, because I think that's how she did hers. And honestly, I have a bunch of digitals that I just kind of like the copy paper feel. So this was some coffee dyed paper of mine, and I just printed the digital on there that I wanted to use, and got it approximately to the size. I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit, but it's close. So I'm just going to use this because I know it fits. And if you want to know the measurements, I can tell you. If I can find my ruler, I can tell you. So this one happens to be, oops, wrong side, 9 inches by, so we'll go by this width. So let's see, does that make sense? 2 and a little over, almost 2.5. That's probably 5 1/4, because I'm going to have some of that folded over. So at least 5. You want your picture to be at least 5, and then a little bit extra on the sides. And it doesn't have to be a ton extra, just so you get that edge from folding it. Okay, so that's where the measurements came from. So let's go ahead and cut this out to height. This looks really crooked on this paper, so I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Yeah, it's totally crooked on this paper. I did a bad job of printing my digital, but I'll try to straighten it out as best I can when I cut it. So I only need this to be 9. That's what I said, right? Yeah. So let's see, where's 9 going to hit? Looks like I can keep the words at the top and the bottom and be okay. So about 1/4 inch in each side is enough. Let me find a pencil. I'm just going to roughly do this. So we'll just put a little mark here and a little mark here. And I'll try to cut that even. I can't go by the edge of my paper because this is crooked. So I'm just going to try to go by that line and make it as straight as I can. And I'll use this ruler to kind of see about where that's heading. If I can get it to cooperate. So I'm just going to use the words that are on here. I can't see through it. Oh, my lighting is so bad. All right, I think I see it. Trying to see some words through there. Yeah, looks like about right there. So there. And then I can cut this edge straight so that I can work with it. Seeing how it wasn't straight to start with. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the entire length or anything. Just enough. And then I can use that straight edge to cut this piece. And that should work out just fine. I'm going to go a fraction bigger. There. I'd rather it be too big than too small for sure. You got to have room for your glue and everything, and that can be a little challenging. Because sometimes your glue oozes in. So it's better to be too big than too small. That's all I'll say. Especially this distance, because that's where the glue is going to be. Or this side. Alright, so now I've got a piece like this. And it doesn't really matter that that side is straight, but you know what? I think I will go ahead and cut it just to be sure it doesn't confuse me. I don't remember which side I did. I think it was the other side, so we'll do this side. Does that look right? Yeah, it's a little bit crooked. Whoops. Just kind of straighten that out. And it could even be the digital. Sometimes the digitals aren't perfectly straight. So now what you want to do is find the center. So I'm going to try to find the center of this and not necessarily the page, because I'm sure I'm not centered on here, because I never am. So I'm just going to match up those two edges. approximately. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you know. Oh my gosh, I can't see. The lighting is so bad. Where is it? Is it there? Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta stand up and get where I can see. It's so hard to see. All right, looks like it's there. So yeah, I'm just a little off from the center. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get center, which appears to be about 1/8 of an inch off. Try and make that straight. What do you think? You think it's in the right spot? Looks like it. Okay. And then I'm going to fold that. So we've got a center point. Now this is a little wider than this one, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be any particular length that way. It can be as wide as you want it, or, you know, narrower. But the idea is that this piece here, on this one, there's a little piece right here that's glued, okay? That part becomes a little solid part. Your tag doesn't go all the way in there. I don't know if you can tell what I'm talking about at this point. Let me see if I can show you. So when you put your tag in, it's stopping on mine right here. So I'm leaving just a little bit that's going to stick out from the page. If I didn't glue that down, then it wouldn't stick. It would the tag would go all the way in, and it would be a problem if you wanted to do anything to this edge. You could put lace on this edge. You can put a eyelet on here and hang a charm. A lot of different things. And then you just have to decide which one's top and bottom as far as where you want your your larger area to go. This one, it's easier to tell because it's written. So this one was harder because I couldn't tell which direction it was. So for this part, I want to make a little area here that is just going to be glued down. So for me, I just found it easier just to go ahead and bend it. So just pick how big you want the section. It could be like 1/4 of an inch. I wouldn't say any more than, say, 1/2 an inch, but I think about 1/4 is good for me. So I don't want a ton sticking out. I don't have a whole lot of room on the outside of that particular cover, but I have a decent amount of room. So we'll go with like it's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe like 1 centimeter. Okay, so I'm just going ahead and putting a crease there. And the crease is simply so that I can see where that tab is going to be. We're just going to call it a tab. So then I'm going to open this back up, and I've got that space in there. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Hopefully I'm not getting out of focus. This thing goes out of focus so easy. So there's a line there, and I'm just going to put glue in there. Try not to get on the outside of that line, ideally. You could use double stick tape if you wanted, but glue works fine. And I didn't find it interfered or anything. So then just flatten that back out. Okay, and now what you've got is a piece that stops like right there. And you can kind of check and see how well your glue is. Mine's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it pretty much stops your tag from going in. We'll throw just a fraction more there. Trying to get it to lay flat. So now I've got a little tab. Okay, so now I just want to fold in these edges just to give it secure, a little more stability. It's kind of, technically it could be optional, but I think it works better. So we're just going to fold it to the point where my little design starts. Got like maybe 1/8 of an inch where my words are. Because that edge is kind of crooked because it's a torn page. But we're going to get close, so I'm going to do that one there. And this one. That little spot there is going to show where it had that. I don't really absolutely need these to match, but we're going to try to make them match. Let's see if I can. because they're on different sides of the page. If you can't make them match, it's probably not the end of the world. But I think you should try. So about there. Looks about right. And if you really wanted to be a perfectionist about it, you could close it up and draw a line. But I'm just going to lightly crease it and kind of see if it's close. It's pretty close. All right. So just a fraction more maybe. It'll look neater if it matches. But that said, it'd probably be easier to insert if it doesn't match in all reality. Because if one side's a little bit off, it's easier to put on the page than it is if they're both exactly right. That's so crooked. So I'm going to straighten that up because, wow, I don't know what I did there. Somewhere along the line I got crooked on it. We're going to try to straighten this up. I assume my page must not be perfectly straight, so we'll try to fix that. See if I can do it. I'm just going to go by this side. Is that any better? Let me see. That's pretty good. All right. That's straighter. Okay. So once you get it where you want it, then you want to just glue this flap down. You could miter it if you want, if it looks like it's going to stick out, or you could just trim it after. It really doesn't matter. Probably just trim it after. So just glue this. Try to get enough on there just that it, lays flat. Sure I'm still right. Yep. Okay. And we'll do the other side. Flat. And then we have a little page, what do you call that? It's kind of like a page cover, I don't have a good name for it. I can't remember if she did, but I don't have a good name for it. It's a page cover. And we'll say it's almost like a pocket, but it's not quite. But it is a pocket. It can be a pocket because you can throw things in it. So then we're just going to put our glue where we want our glue. Now for that I'm going to use my page because I want to make sure that it's perfect. Now, all of my pages should be the same. So it shouldn't matter per se. But I'm just going to stick this on here. Okay, and I'm going to see where it hits. Like I said, I want a little more at the top than at the bottom, or I at least don't want so much at the bottom that it affects it standing. So I'm going to put mine about there, I think. So just a little bit of glue at the bottom, and then at the top is all you want. You don't want to get too close to where your page is, or you won't be able to get it on there. But you don't want it so super loose that it just falls off all the time. So you want to get close, but not too close. I wouldn't suggest using double stick tape. Here's the reason. If you use double stick tape, a lot of times that edge of the double stick tape stays sticky. So if it's something that you're going to be sliding things into, that edge can catch on the edge that you're trying to slide into because it almost always stays slightly exposed. So I would suggest using glue. Just be aware when you're pushing your glue down that you want to make sure that you haven't gone, too far towards your center. So I'm going to keep like a 1/4 of an inch there, and then here is almost like more of like an 1/8 of an inch. That way, if my glue oozes any, it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, if you push toward the outside, your glue will ooze out instead of in. Okay, and then we can just trim that up if it's crooked. It's actually not terrible. There's a teeny, teeny, teeny little spot right there. I'll just trim that off. By the time I inked it, you probably wouldn't even see it, honestly. We'll go ahead and trim it. So then we've got our little fold over tab thingy. And I'm trying to find my pen. I lost it. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we'll go ahead and ink that, and it will be done. You want to give your glue some time to dry, ideally. Don't stick it on there when it's wet. Debating if I want a darker ink. I kind of do. Let me use my like scorched timber or something. If I can find it. What is that? There it is. I'm going to scorched timber on this one. Just because this is kind of dark already. Now, you can round these corners off. I do kind of like them rounded. Not the outside. Well, you could do the outside, but I'm not going to. I think I want the outside straight. That way if I put lace on it, or if I put an eyelet on it or anything like that, it doesn't affect it as easily. So let me find my corner rounder. There it is. So I'm going to do the corner rounding on the inside where the opening is. And this is totally optional. You don't have to round your corners. And this is a lot for it to go through. So if your corner rounder isn't, you know, up to the task, then you could use scissors or just don't bother. But we'll round that one. So put this nice dark ink on there so it shows up real well. This is the scorched timber. It's just nice and dark. I'm going to ink this, although I may end up covering it with lace. I don't really know if I'm going to put lace on it. I put lace on my sample that I showed you guys earlier. But I might leave it. I might put a charm or a dingle on it. I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to make some little charms, and I haven't done it yet. I need to do that. Because I couldn't find a lot of coffee charms when I went to the store. Sometimes I get lucky and there's, you know, like a pack of them at Hobby Lobby or whatever, but I only found one. I might go find them on Amazon or something, but honestly, I'm probably not going to spend any more money on this. It's getting to the point where if I sell it, I won't make very much of a profit. And that's easy to do if you're not careful. All those little things, they just add up so fast. All right, so there's that. Like I said, it can go anywhere, but we're going to stick it right here. So you just find your little fold. There you go. So now you've got a little cute little tuck spot that you can tuck in a page or a journaling card, or pictures, one of those vellum envelopes even, you know, one of these, anything you want. Okay, so I had cut that out already, so I'm just going to put that in there. But I might ink it though. Where'd my ink go? We'll stick with that dark ink on this one. There is a ground espresso ink, but I don't think I have that in Distress Ink. I think I have it in Archival. But that's also a nice color. Just a little darker than like, you know, Vintage Photo. Still in those nice brown tones. This has got a deckled edge on it, so you can kind of see it. And this is a printout from, it's one of those digitals I bought. Of course, I enlarged it quite a bit. Let's see if I can figure out which one it was. I'm not 100% sure. It was probably... I think it was the same one we've been using today, the Scraps of Serotonin. I'm pretty sure it was that one. I don't think it was this vintage one. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was the Scraps of Serotonin. Could be wrong, don't hold me to it. But it's just going to be a little journaling paper. And like that. And then it's removable, so you can take it out, put it anywhere else you want. Like I said, you can put an eyelet on it or lace. I don't think I want lace on it, so I'm going to leave lace off of it. And if I find a charm, I might put an eyelet on it later. So for an eyelet, you could just stick one up here on the corner where we folded that over. So it won't interfere with the tuck or anything. And, you know, dingle it off of there. Which, like I said, I don't have anything right now that looks good, so I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that page right now either, so. But it's got two sides, so you can put something on the other side too. So there's that one. 2 down. 3 down, 2 down, 3. I don't know. Well, let's try it. All right, so next project for today, I want to do is, let's see, I'm going to throw this in here somewhere. Where can I put it? I won't put it in the same one. Now, it does hang off the edge a little bit, but like I said, I have plenty of room inside my cover, so it's not an issue. Let's put this one somewhere. We'll stick it right here with this page that matches it. Which side is the top and which side is the bottom? I think that's the top. I'm just going to stick that there for now. If I decided this was a little snugger, if I decide I don't like it, then I'll put it somewhere else. All right. So you get the idea anyway. So next, oh, I did a belly band. I'm just going to show you. I didn't do it on camera because honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. But when we were doing the coffee filters the other day, I was going to do this belly band with y'all, and I ran out of time. But same kind of thing. Coffee filter, round coffee filter. I just folded it into the center, overlapping just slightly, and sewed around both of the ends, and made a little belly band with a tuck for a, in this case, like a bookmark that I just made out of a page. So this is just a book page, and so that can go in there as a bookmark. And then it also has a belly band feature if you want to throw in, you know, one of your envelopes or something like that. All right. So I might leave that one. I've got 3 of those made up already. Should I use that one or the espresso one? Maybe espresso matches a little bit better. I'll throw that one in there. This sticker is from My Bones Coffee. They send you a sticker whenever you purchase coffee. It's almost always, I don't think I've got a box where it wasn't in there, so it's usually almost always in there. So that's how that works. And see if I did anything else. Oh, so flip out. We're going to do this. Let's do this. So I was opening some chocolate the other day, and I didn't want to keep it in the bag. This particular cocoa comes in the typical Mylar bag with a Ziploc at the top, and I hate trying to get stuff out of it. So I take mine out and I put it in another container, and I label the container so that I can just use a spoon and scoop it easy. So I was going to, you know, toss this bag, but obviously I didn't toss it. So I cleaned it out and cut it down. and sewed it onto this piece of burlap. So I sewed it onto this piece of burlap first by itself, and then I sewed another piece of fabric underneath that just to give some more texture, and then I sewed a piece of cardstock. Now the only reason I put a piece of cardstock on there is I just didn't want to deal with gluing the fabric. I wanted to have a piece of cardstock, and I folded it, so it's got a little bit of fold in there. I wanted to have a piece of cardstock so that I could just glue the cardstock and then lift it up and look under. Not sure why I put the fold in there, because it really doesn't seem to do anything. So, but anyway, I'm just going to glue the cardstock down, and then it's just going to be a fabric flip, just for fun. Could write under it, hide photos under it, whatever. It is a little big for this page, but this is this roll that Dawn actually sent me this roll. It's very wide, and it's already sewn on the edges, and I didn't want to cut that off because it's like a not easing. What do you call it? Selvage. It's like a salvage edge. So it's already sewn down. And I didn't want to fray and have to deal with sewing it and gluing it. So I just left it. It just barely fits on this page. It's going to stick out probably a tiny fraction, but I'm going to leave it anyway because I think it's cool looking. So this is just a flip. Very simple. There's no super instructions to it, so I just went ahead and made this ahead of time. That way I didn't have to deal with digging out the sewing machine. And we're going to glue this cardstock down to the page. So I'm just going to put glue here. And you can just stick it to the page like that. Okay, so I'm going to try to get it to where it's right just outside where my signature will be sewn in. And like I said, it will probably stick out a tiny bit on the outside edge, and that's just fine. It doesn't really matter if it sticks out a little bit, because like I said, I have plenty of room, and it'll just add some texture on the edge. I just don't want it interfering with closing. All right, so that just becomes a little flip. Just, it's a texture thing, but you could throw anything on there. You could attach something here. Leave this one like it is. You can see the mylar through there, which is kind of cool. And then, you know, have hidden writing under here. And if you didn't want to write directly on this, you could always stick a piece of paper on there or something, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So just a cute little fabric flip with burlap and fabric. Like I said, it's going to stick out a tiny bit, but that's fine. Just add some texture to my edge. We've already got that sticking out, so it does not matter. All right, so what is next? Let's see. I think I'm going to do a little easel project I made. So I think that one's getting pretty full. Oops. Man, I cannot keep that thing on there. I love this thing, but oh my goodness, my little, I don't know what I did to this paper clip. I think I must have used one of the black ones. They're like the coated ones. The coated paper clips, they don't hold their shape as well as the metal ones, like these silver and gold ones. They stay nice and flat, okay? But these coated ones, they just bend too easy. So I wouldn't suggest using these when you're making a hidden paper clip, because it never, see how open that is? They never stay flat enough. And that's just something I've kind of come to realize, but it's a little late now because you can't really flatten it back out. That's it. I could make another one, but so that's an issue. All right, let's see. Where can I put this project I want to do? Let me see. I'm going to look at my projects and see what else I had. I know I have like at least 2 more things I wanted to do. I have that book I wanted to do. Oh, I have these pockets. I could probably just throw these in. All right, so I was eating some candy. Well, technically, I wasn't eating this candy. This candy was my daughter's and my husband's candy. It's some we got from Aldi. It's Moser Roth chocolates. I don't eat it because it possibly has peanuts, and I have a peanut allergy, so I can't have this one. But I thought the colors were nice. They kind of match this paper well, like the designs on here. This has a little bit of that kind of a pink tone to it, and then this one had some of the oranges on this one. So I put them on here. This is just, it's not cardstock. I think it's just coffee dyed paper. Yeah, it's just coffee dyed paper. But I'm just going to use it as a pocket, and I left them open at the top, so I sewed all around it first, and then I sewed it just on the edges. I probably just sewed across here first because I only see one stitching. So sew across that for just to make the edge. It's folded over. And I got a couple little pockets that I just need to throw somewhere in this signatures. So let me find a place that they look okay. I might put one here. I don't know what I'm going to put on this page. I haven't really decided. Maybe that orange one would look good there. I don't think it's too busy. Yeah. And I'm just going to glue it down. It could be a double tuck, but I don't know if I want it as a double tuck. If I do it as a double tuck, I think I will put something on that edge or fold that edge. If I want to do a double tuck. Because it kind of, like I said, it's just coffee paper. So it doesn't have a good edge. You know, I'll just fold it so I can do it as a double tuck and it'll work. I could just put a notch, but like I said, it's a little thin and I don't really trust it not to rip. So I think I'll just fold it over just a little bit and just give it a little more strength. So let me do that real quick. Totally missed a whole spot there. Alright, so there's just some strength, and then we'll just ink it. I'm not going to notch it because it's going to be easy to see. I will use the darker ink though because it's already kind of brown. If I can get some ink out of it. Oops. So more, you know, package reusing. Keep your packages if you're going to do a journal like this. And I have a whole bin that's just filled with, I just call it my junk bin. And it's got wrappers that I think I might use, or cardboard that I think I might use, or you know, all kinds of packaging. Magazine images that I've found. You know, and every now and then I go through it, and you know, if it's getting too full or something, I toss some stuff. But I try not to go crazy with it because, you know, that stuff can get out of hand. So we're going to put this down as a double pocket. So I'm holding where I don't want glue. I don't think I inked those edges. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So we're just going to throw that down there. Hey, Deborah. So now we have a little pocket and a big pocket. So let's see, what do I have to throw in there? If I find something in here. Let's see. Something tall for that spot. What do you got that's kind of tall? Not that. What's this say? French roast. That's probably too tall. I know I have some tags. I might throw a tag in there. It's probably not going to show very much. I do plan to use this somewhere else. I probably don't want to use that. think I've used this already, but I might use it again. Although it's got more of those pinks. Actually, it has both colors. Those berries, they're really close to both colors, but I think it's got a little more of this orange. Maybe I'll put that there. I could even put 2. All right, let me see if I have it. I had some tags that were a freebie with the labels. Well, they were a bonus, not necessarily a freebie, like a bonus. Let me find them. There they are. All right. From the Scrap Serotonin actually set. These were on that as well. Gosh, we're just using that set a lot today. So I did a couple different sizes. Let's see. Maybe the smaller size. I could even put a couple in there. I've got a couple. And I may have these in other places. I'm sure I do. So I printed a bunch. All right, so we'll just throw those in there. I don't know that I'm going to... I do have some reinforcers on here, which I may have forgotten to glue. They're really old reinforcers. They're reinforcers from probably 20 years ago. It's the only ones I had, so I threw a couple on there. I usually glue them though, because they're not... Okay, that one feels okay. They don't stick very well anymore. And maybe I'll throw some string or something in there. Let's see, what do we got? I've got string or something hanging near me. I have some twine. What is this? Some beige twine. Is that too thin? It's pretty thin. What else you got? I have this twine. It's a little bit thicker. Go with that one. Maybe about there. Somewhere around there. Alright, let's just do that. Throw some twine on there. I think I'll do your typical put it through the hole and through the loop thing. Just give it something. Might cut them down, it's a little bit long. There. Let's cut them just a tiny bit. Not quite that long. There we go. So that's cute. And then we gotta find a spot for this one. So this is just more, you know, repurposing your packaging kind of thing. So double tuck. And let's see if there's any more spots in here that this would go good. It's the same paper. Too much of the same. I could just put it on a plain page. I don't know. We'll see. Coffee and Friends. I don't know if I'm gonna fill that one. Let's see. I was trying to find one that had a little bit of that color in it, but if I don't, that's fine. I'll just put it anywhere, honestly. Most of these colors go together well. This is just that embossed paper. I'm gonna turn this into it. Glue that down a few. Do I have any spots this is going to match? What about here? Is there any pink on that one? It's good enough. It's close enough. So we might as well do the double pocket thing, seeing as how we did last time. This one's a little bit taller. I left a little more room at it. A little bit tall. If I can get this to fold straight. Hold on. I didn't do a very good job there. Let me try that again. There. hold it where we don't want glue. Okay. And we'll put this on here. That coffee dyed paper has a little white spot there, and it was kind of confusing me. Alrighty, I didn't ink it, but oh well. Probably should have. Here, I'll try to ink it just a little bit. I'm just gonna ink my finger. I just want that top edge inked a little bit. There. Okay, so there's a double thingy. We could put a label there even. I got that whole thing of labels. I might as well use them. I don't use my labels enough. I'm honestly notorious for not using my labels enough. Aromatic espresso grind. I don't think I want those. Let's do one of these. It's a big one. This isn't really a coffee label. It's a chocolate label, but that's okay. Here, we'll do caffeine and kindness, because you know what? Both coffee and chocolate are caffeine. Any other caffeine ones? I don't think there are, but there might be. Life happens, coffee helps, coffee, coffee, coffee. Language. Take a little break. So many cute ones. Alright, we'll just stick that one on there, just to have something. I could have put one on the other page too, but you know, I don't even know if I'm gonna leave it this color because it's a little bit light. We're gonna darken it up just a little. It's probably some vintage photo. It's just a fraction lighter than I wanted. I can get this on here. It's better. All right. And figure out where the page was. I think I'm just going to stick it up here. I'm not going to put it straight. I'm going to put it crooked. Something like that. Caffeine and kindness. There we go. Did you get something on that edge? You did not. Hold on. Totally missed that whole edge. Get on there. It's hard for me to do left-handed. There. Notorious for not going all the way to the edge. All right. There. Caffeine and kindness, and some things that stick in there. What do we got? What's left? I have another cafe one. I don't know if I've used this anywhere. Have I? It's really white for this page, though. Maybe not. Should I just put the postcard one? I could put the postcard one, and I need to go ahead and stamp it like a postcard, though. Let's do that, and then let's see. How about... I don't think I have any more chocolate type things. I didn't have a lot of chocolate stuff. Just, I had like packaging, lots of chocolate packaging. I could even put just a piece of paper. Where's that note one? I had a note one. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Let's see if that'll fit. It just says just a note. It's got birdies on it. I do have some stamps floating around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find my stamps. Maybe I'll put a stamp on it. Just ink it up a little bit. It's just a piece of coffee dyed paper that I put the stamp for just a note on it. It does have some little birdies there, but I might try to put a stamp. Maybe I could put one of these on it. This would be cute on the postcard. Yeah, we'll put one of these. I must put one of these on the postcard. I'm not sure about it on the note though. Let me find, I've got some little tiny fussy cuts. Here they are. So these I just fussy cut out of the scraps of serotonin one. They're just little things. Little things that she had in there that were very small. Some of them are just beans. Lots of little beans, which I'm not sure. I could put a couple of those on there too. That might be fun. But it's got like, you know, cups and stuff. I wonder if there's any chocolate. I don't think there's any chocolate because hers isn't a chocolate set, it's a coffee set. But this is a chocolate label. What does it say? It says premium new recipe cocoa powder. I think it's Mylar, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to stick it flat enough that it won't be an issue. So let's not do that. We'll just put one of these. Here, we'll do this little cup. It's cute. Just a little mug. It's got some chocolate on it. We'll just put that on there. Just a little embellishment for this paper. There. That should be good. Put that in there. And we'll make this a postcard. Where'd my little envelope go? Alright. So many cute little things in here. I need to start using them. I did take the time to fussy cut them, so I should use them, right? Okay, and then let's make this a postcard. I'll have to dig out my postcard stamps if I can find them. Oh, that's heavy. It's getting to the point where I can't lift this. It's in a binder. I've got them all in a binder. I can't even get it up there on the table, so y'all just have to be patient while I grab one. Which one do I want? Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe that one. That one is probably from Temu. Yeah, Temu. I had grabbed a bunch from Temu at one point. So let's see. Turn this into a postcard. Let's just go ahead and ink it. Scorched timber might be a little dark, but that's all right. I just don't want that huge white edge, super white. Okay, and then let's see. Let's do. I just keep this ink. I could use archival, but it doesn't really matter. Kind of like this one. And is there up or down? Yes, looks like it's an up. So we'll do this one, probably here, maybe halfway. It's kind of a narrow postcard, but that's all right. Maybe some lines over here. Is that right? The lines on that side? I always forget. And I think I'm going to use one of those stamps that I have, but maybe I'll do like a little cancellation over it. So I will use archival if that's the case. I'm going to do a little cancellation over it. And there's some like fake addressy things on here and a line. So what kind of line is that? That's not a solid line, that's a dotty line. Let's go with this line. I'm debating on which side I want the writing space. I guess, I mean, technically I could put it on both. Maybe I will. All right, so we'll put the stamp like here, but we'll cancel it out. I want to use archival. Let me grab my archival ink. Let's go with, of course it's going to be on the bottom. Brown or black? I guess black. I was going to use brown, but I think I'll use black. All right, archival. Time is it? 10:20. Okay. I need an acrylic block. You got one handy? It's a little bit big, but I think it'll be all right. The question is, how flat is that? Is questionable. It's probably not super flat because my table, I think my table is getting a little bit warpy. I'm going to grab a piece of wood. I had it just the other day. Where'd you stick it? All right, hold on. I thought I had it here. I'm going to grab it. This is a little flatter than I trust my table to be. So, and I don't really, I could grab my memory thingy, whatever you call them. I can't think of words today. The thing for stamping. I've got like a stamping pad thing with the flippy thing. My name's, you know, the flippy thing. I have one of those. But sometimes, even if my table's a little warpy, even that won't give me a good image. So, I feel like this is overkill. Let me find my little one. It's here somewhere. That's a really little one. That ain't it. Where did you hide it, girl? You hid it well, didn't you? I hid it well. I don't know where it is. I had it just the other day, too. All right, that's fine. This one is too small. Yeah, it's too small. I don't know where it is. Keep losing stuff. All right, we'll use the big one. It's fine. It'll be fine. All right, I'll do the line. I'll do the top first. So, little postcard thingy. Ooh, noisy. All right, let's see if I can get that somewhat centered. Am I still the right way? All right, here we go. Try to do it from the top. I don't have a grid anymore, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And hopefully this is nice and flat. Not terrible. Good enough. I'll live with it. All right, and then we'll do the line. Lines are tricky. Lines you have to kind of just drop. Usually if you drop them and you don't try to place them, they go straighter. Usually. Let's try to get that somewhat in the center. About there. Okay. And then our other lines. probably need to clean them. I haven't cleaned them in a while. They're probably getting dusty. All right, so I'll just put this like here. I don't know if I can do 2 or not. I might could. Try to do 2 on the other side, because I'm gonna put the stamp up there. Let's see if I can do it and not have it horribly crooked. There's one. Let's try to get another one. So about there. Not too bad. Okay, that'll work. And then we want our little stamp. So I'm just going to use this one. It says 5 cents on it. Maybe they all have amounts, but this one specifically has a cent thing. Like a cents thing. Some of them just have a number and not like the little cents symbol. But we'll use this one. And so that's the right direction. I'm going to put this here. Like about there. I probably should glue it because it's washy. So let's glue it. A little bit of glue. Probably should do some on this side too. See if I can still lift it. What do you think? Now it's glued. Okay, so our little stamp. And then the archival should stick to that washi. Should. And we'll just put this little cancellation thing on there. Just why not? I'm just gonna kind of haphazardly do it. Cool. Okie dokie. So let's wipe off these. Do you have the, there it is. Like, what'd you do with it? I know it's here somewhere. Put these back on. This is a little chamois. If you use a chamois to clean your stamps, they won't be fuzzy. You won't get like, you know, paper towel or fabric on them. Where is it? There it is. And one more. This isn't really where it goes, but close enough. Okay, chamois. Now we have a little postcard. It's super cute. Put our ink up. Make sure that archival has dried. Nope, not yet. Archival tends to take just a minute to dry, especially on slippery surfaces. It's still just a little bit wet. Put these stamps up. So I have these in a 3-ring binder with the little sleeve protectors, but it's big. It's like 3-4 inches wide, so I can't really fit it up there very easily. All right, I might take my heat tool to that real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to get ink everywhere. Let me find some. I've got alcohol wipes here somewhere because I've got alcohol ink on my fingers. Just get some of this off my fingers real quick. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a heat to this stamp. Off camera, but I can't tell. I'm trying not to smear it. Okay, looks good. Okay, now we have a little postcard. Okay, postcard writing spot, and that can go there. Okay, one more down. Now, what was my next project? All right, so I have this little easel thing that I wanted to do. It is in an envelope. There it is. So here's the deal. I gotta find a pocket that needs something. One second while I put some of these back. Just making sure it was the right one. What is this one? That's scorched timber. Okay. So I want a pocket that will fit this little chalkboard. So I might already have one, so that's why I'm going to look first. So I know I've made some pockets early on, but it didn't get filled. Some peek through. There's that. It's a little bit snug. Could possibly put it there. Okay, there's one. I'm going to make two of these. And that's not. I could just make another pocket, but I wanted to go ahead and fill one if I have one. Because I know I probably do, honestly. I made this. I did this off camera too. So it's just a piece of the Chocolate and Coffee by Stamperia paper. It was, I'm not sure which one. I can't tell because I covered up the back, but it was one of the Chocolate and Coffee Stamperia papers. So cut it, a wrapper from the Ghirardelli square chocolates, and these are fussy cut from the chocolate digital by Polka Art Studio. So I cut out these little fussy cut things of chocolate and put those on there, and then one of the dictionary labels on the top, and I just stuck it in here. So that's how I did that one. I don't know if I want to put it there. All right, I'm not seeing a pocket in this one. Got one more to look at. If not, I'll make a pocket. I'd love it to have like black and white kind of, but I don't really have a lot of black and white in this. I could put it across from that because that has a decent amount of black in it. So I might put it there. I do have a spot here. Is it busy? Maybe I'll put one there, one there. Coffee cup. I think that's the only spots left. Could put it there, but I don't think I want to. All right, I want to put one here. So we'll just make a pocket for this page. That looks good to fit this into, and you're going to see what I'm going to make out of this in a second. So they're both in that one, I guess. I could do this. What was on this one? Is it blank? Let me look at it. It was mostly brown, so it doesn't match as well. So I think I'll stick with these two. All right, so here was the deal. So I had a bunch of these chalkboard style, you know, cafe chalkboards, typically where they do the fancy writing and coloring and drawing and stuff. And I thought that would look really cute on an easel, like you see outside of a coffee shop, you know. So I made a little easel, okay, to attach it to. And I'm going to show you how I did that. It's pretty easy. And I've got just some twine. So I had a couple of these. There's actually 3 or 4 in the Scraps of Serotonin digital set that are these type of chalkboard type designs. We're going to use these 2, I think. So I didn't want to do a ton of them, but you know. So I'm going to do one with this white. I've got one with brown. So this paper was from a set of paper that I had that had wood and grass and I don't know, generic stuff. I'm sure it's discontinued. It was very old. And I got it on clearance. But I'll show it to you. It was this. Okay. It was just a Creatology type thing. So not fancy, but it just had your typical, you know, some wood pieces, some clouds and things. That's where I got that paper from. It's a cardstock. Not super heavy. I would guess to be about 65 pounds is my guess. So first step is to decide which way you want your boards to be going on your little chalkboard. Set up your easel. I did this one this way. Now, after I did this one this way, I realized that the grain of the paper is actually going this way. And I did it this way. Do you see how? Okay, but when I do it this way, it doesn't fight me. That means the grain is going this way. And if you make your fold the direction the grain is going, it won't crack as easily. So because I did the boards on this one in the opposite direction of the grain, focus. Hold on, I'm waiting to see if it catches up. Is it gonna focus? No. All right, let me get it to focus. I can't tell. I might have to. Here, let me zoom out just a little. I might be too close. All right, I think it's focused. All right. For whatever reason, this paper, the grain, it cracked at the top. So I just ended up gluing a little piece there to kind of fix that because it did crack. So I just took a little piece of the paper, put a fold in it, and just glued it on there just to reinforce it because it did crack. So I'm going to do this one on the grain, which will make the wood go the other direction. And I'm just going to see if it doesn't crack if I do it on the grain. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's just cheap paper. Every now and then it's literally just cheap paper, which, you know, it is kind of cheap paper. But so we're going to cut it this way, which means that our easel will be folded this way, which means our lines will be the opposite direction, which doesn't really matter, but yeah. So I'm just going to fold it in half, and then I'll cut it to the size I want because it's just the easiest thing to do. I probably won't need all of this, and it's probably wasteful. But so let's see how much that's cracking. It's cracking a tiny bit, but not quite as bad as it did the other way. I may still reinforce it with a little piece, so we'll see. So for this one fits on here very well because I made it for this one. So I'm just going to use that one for that one. So we're going to make one for this one. And I did it a little bit bigger. It could just as easily be smaller. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to stick with doing it a little bit bigger and not quite the same height. So I'm going to come up to about here. Let a little bit of that show. And I'm debating on my lines. They're a little better. So I think about there. And then I want legs that will fit basically to where they're not too big for my pocket area. So on this one, I just did the legs about yay tall. So we'll probably just do it about the same. It could be slightly smaller. It'll be narrower for sure. But we'll do the legs about that same distance. So let's say we cut the legs just below that line. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to cut the width. So I'm just going to make mine just a tiniest bit wider than this chalkboard thing is. Not much, just a little teeny bit. Cut that out first. So let's just cut that. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. And then I'm going to see how tall I need that. I think I wanted to go just above, maybe just right about there. I'll use this piece for the top in case I need it. So when I cut it off, I'll have that little piece extra. So we'll just go ahead and cut it there. Doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks the lines look better going the other way. I'm going to try to put this line for the center of my fold for the top piece, because I think it's going to crack too. So we're just going to put it about where I think I want the width, and we'll just save that piece. We're going to save half of it anyway. I'm just going to cut that. See if I can get it to stay. Maybe I can do it this way. It's going to be hard to cut on that line. Try. Can I fit it? Maybe. That should stay flat enough. Almost. Close enough. Alright, so there. We'll just use that. Actually, I could score it while I got this out. I don't know if I scored the other one or not. I probably did. So we're going to set it on here. And I've got a little line here that I've drawn for things like this that I just want to place on a line. I'm just going to score that so I can fold it easy in a second. Alright, so there's that. And then we just want to cut out the base. So you can decide how tall you want it. Like I said, it does not matter really. So I'm just going to kind of guesstimate, make it legs, you know, yay tall. So maybe 2. I'm using my grid because I'm going to cut it with the X-Acto, I think. So I think I'll put the base of it about here. And then I'm going to come over to about, how far did I do on this one? A little less than 1/2 inch, probably 3/4 of an inch. I don't even know if I measured it, honestly. I'm trying to put my ruler. Oh, there it is. What time is it? Oh, I got 15 minutes. I better hurry. I better hurry. All right, trying to figure out the direction. 1/2 centimeter, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch. I think 3/4 is good. So about 3/4. I'm just going to draw a line. And about 3/4. So I'm going to cut the leg. I'm not going to come up to this line, so I'm going to draw a line across first. I'm just going to try to guess. We'll just use that, I think, because that looks good. I'm not measuring super well, but, you know, you get the idea. So I'm going to go from there down. I'm just using that. I probably should have measured it there. That would have made more sense. Just put a mark at 3/4 and 3/4. All right. So I'm going to cut out this section. Ignore this first 2 little marks. Didn't need them up there. My ruler, my eraser's way too far out. It does not work very well. Okay, there. So let's chop that out with the ruler and a blade. So this is an easel. It's kind of flimsy. It's not, you know, it's not meant to be super strong, but it will get the job done. Just because it gives me more bulk underneath my ruler to hold flat. there. And here. This is just something I don't know. I just was thinking about it and I was like, you know, that looks like one of those little chalkboards that you see outside of a shop. You know, and then it's kind of like, how can I do that? Yeah, if you really wanted, you could reinforce it, but like I said, it does not. I'm not looking for it to be super strong. As long as it'll stand, that's all I care. All right, so I'm going to reinforce this just because it is, you can't see it because it's white, but it is cracking a little bit. It's probably because it's cheap paper. Like I said, it's, you know, Creatology, which isn't a super, it's more like a kid's brand, honestly. So we're going to do that. This little piece, I don't know why, maybe because I scored it, maybe that's the trick. It didn't crack as much, so. And that should be the right size already because I cut it from the same piece, so. I'm just going to throw a little glue on this. Just top and bottom. Throw that over there. It's a little bit crooked. It's going to be covered, so it doesn't really matter. Because it will absolutely be covered. And then I'm going to make a little connection. So string, decide how wide you want to go. Doesn't need to be super wide. The only, wow, you did a really good job with gluing that down. The only reason I'm putting it on there is just to keep it from threading apart. If it's after you've opened it a few times, it starts, you know, wanting to really fall apart. So I'm just going to make it about the length that I think I want it. So where's my little scissors? Because I got these big ones sitting here. All right, so about there, and then just enough to glue. So we'll just do two this size. It looks like it's about 2 inches, but you could probably get away with honestly 1.5 inches. Doesn't take much. And I'm just going to glue this on. So just pick a spot where you think you can get it the same spot. I'm going to try to mark it with a pencil. So I'm just going to go, I think, about here. So I'm just kind of squishing it so I can get it in the same spot, hopefully. And at least somewhat close. I'm not measuring. I could, but yeah. We don't have time to measure right this second. Right. There. So now I've just got a little mark there. Zoom in. Oops, wrong way. Okay. Now I'm just going to throw a little teeny bit of glue there. And throw this string on there. Just enough to hold it. This is super lightweight stuff, so it doesn't take much. And then I'll put another little piece of glue there. Put the string on the other side. And the trick is trying to get those strings about the same. So you can't really squish it because it's, you know, it's wet. And it's coming through this string, so I could put a piece of material over it, but it'll dry in a second. Okay, so there's that side. So what I could do, if I really wanted to try to get it exact, is, oops, get it to not glue to my finger. So spread it out just a little bit and take, I could use tape. I'm going to use a marker. Well, not that marker because I can't open it. It might show, it might not. I'm just going to put a tiny little dot if it can cooperate. This is only me being a little bit picky. I'm trying to see if I can even see it. I can't see it. I know it's about 1/4 of an inch, so I'm just going to mark it. But anyway, you could probably mark it ahead of time. It might be smarter. Do it the easy way. Mark it ahead of time. All right, draw a little line about 1/4 of an inch, approximately. Put my little string on there. Now, is this the only way that this can be done? Of course not. But like I said, it's something I made up, so I'm trying to find my silicone. It's very sticky, so it's sticking to my finger. Because it's going, obviously it's going right through that string. And then the other side. Not enough. I'm being relatively generous. Where's my tweezers on this? That look about right? Yeah, that's close. Nope, it moved. Hold on. I didn't get enough glue. Hold on. Cooperate. Alright, silicone thingy. There. Alright, just give it a second to set up. But that'll just keep it from opening too wide. Yeah. I feel like that side's a little bit bigger than that side. It is just a fraction. Let me see if I can make that in just a bit more. All right, 1 second. I'm being a little bit ridiculous, but that's okay. It was really sticking out too far. I'll try to go further in this time. That looks better. Hold it for a second. I got 5 minutes. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay. Dry. So you get the idea. We have our little easel. Actually stands pretty well, considering it's just one layer of fabric or paper. This one stands better. I don't know why. Maybe because I did it that direction and not on the grain. So cutting against the grain might be a good idea because it doesn't come out as much. So that's a thought. Or you could reinforce the legs if it really bothered you. Yeah, you could put an extra piece there or something. All right, I'm just making sure this glue is dry before I go sticking it together. Not quite. A little bit wet on this side. Dry, dry, dry. Where's my powder? I just don't want to stick it together. Let me put a little bit of powder on there. No sticking together. Okay. All right, so now we just want to add our little chalkboard. I didn't get a pocket. I gotta make a pocket. I gotta make a pocket. Oh no. Am I gonna have time to make a pocket? I'll make time. I'm just inking it. You don't have to ink it because it is kind of black and white, but we're gonna ink it. You could even ink the little chalkboard thingy, whatever, easel. That's not the right word. Easel. We'll ink the easel. My little piece would be much better. Take it out. There. Why not? We'll ink it up. The other one I didn't even consider it because it was brown. But this one, since it's white, we'll do the ink on it. And it's hitting the string a little bit. That's okay. I don't care if the string's brown. Like I said, most of this won't show. Hardly at all. Okay. So then we take our picture. So the smaller of the two, which was this one. I'm going to glue it down. Now remember, it doesn't glue at the top there. So figure out where that is. You can just draw a line wherever you want it to hit. If you want it to hit below your bottom edge, or if you want it to hit above the bottom edge. That's kind of up to you. I think I'm going to have it hit above the bottom edge just a little bit, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll do above. And then I'll just draw a line there so I know about where to stop my glue. And there won't be any glue on the other side. So I'll put some glue there just in the center. You don't have to worry about the outside edge, really. Just throw some in the center. And make sure you're on the side you want. And then you can use the back to line it up. See if I can do it and get it straight. Our glitter gives you, you know, 5 seconds. Not much time. All right, glue her on there. And then we have our little stand. How cute is that? Okay, and it does stand. All right, so there's that one. We'll do the other one real quick. I just gotta ink it and glue it. I guess I'll ink it. It's not a great cutout job, but you know what? I'm just gonna leave it. Could have cut off a little more of that border, but eh. We'll just ink it up. Like so. Same thing, just kind of see where you want it to hit. Might come below the edge this time. So approximately here. A little bit of glue in the middle. I didn't go all the way to the bottom since I'm sticking out a little bit. And line her up. I'm going to line it up this way this time because I almost got it crooked last time. Right, does that look about right? Close enough. This one's a big one. All right, and then we got our little easel. There we go. You can see how it stands. I can't really show you sideways, but you get the idea. Let me zoom back out. All right, so they will stand. You might have to play with them a little bit, but they will totally stand up. So if you wanted to sit them on your desk or whatever, take them out of your journal, sit them on the desk for inspiration or whatever, or, you know, they're cute. This one says coffee makes everything possible. And this one's just more like a traditional coffee shop sign. So I thought that was a cute way to make a little tag. I just got to get a pocket and we'll be done. I know I'm running late. I hope none of my alarms go off. The other one I had a pocket for, right? Yes. It's this one? Yeah. So this is supposed to be a double pocket technically. Let me throw a notch in this, just a tiny notch. Is that backwards? It is. Okay. I'm trying to get it centered. There's a little bit of a notch in that. Some ink that probably won't show. I'm going to go ahead and stick it on there. And I'll put something in there later. But that's just going to go here. And something will go in that pocket later. And then we're going to put one of these on here. Let's put the one that's brown. So it just goes in there like a little tag. And then you can pull it out and set it up and enjoy it. Okay? You could also write in this little spot or this little spot, you know. But it's more of an interactive little easel, which I thought was cute. So we just need a pocket for this one. And then we will be done. I almost got to everything I was going to do. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Let me find, I know I have some things I can use for pockets. Just got to find one. Papers, papers, papers. Where are you? There's some. Anything that's got more white and black kind of colors. That one's browns. Not really. Anything in here? A little bit of white in that. Maybe I could do that. I'm just trying to see what I have quickly. What a lot of... That's too short. There weren't a lot of white and black colors in this set, because that's not what it is. It's not what it's about. Let's see. One more thing. Let me look at it. What's that one? That might be good. It's not white and black, but I think it'll work. Okay. This is from Stamperia. It's got that on one side, that on the other side. I think I'm going to use this one just because it's got the wood. So we'll just do that. Let's throw a little notch in there just because. And I'll ink it, and it will be, how wide is that? Do I need to cut it? That's pretty close. We'll leave it. Okay. Ink. I almost finished on time. 5 minutes late. I think I changed all my alarms to go off at a later time. But my do not disturb might run off. We'll see if I start getting notifications. Alright, let's glue this down. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I got a little bit done. Quite a few little projects. Hopefully y'all liked them. Deborah says, it's adorable. Thank you. Anything else I missed? Nope. Alright. Get this pocket on here. Now I can come in later if I want to put more up there or labels or something. But for right now, we just got our little pocket and our little easel. Okay? That was it for today. Thank you all for watching. Be sure, I never say this enough, guys. Be sure to, you know, like, subscribe, and all of those things, depending on which channel you're watching it on. I really appreciate it, and it does help my channel a lot. I'm still trying to grow my YouTube, so it's very important. Alright, so that's it. That's fun, right? I like it. Lots of fun things. Cute little easel, bags. Like I said, I'll get that freebie up there for y'all. And that one. There's more, but I'll take a picture of them later. Alright, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on Friday. Alright, bye-bye.